So first stand right out of the gate, 2-3 minutes in, here comes a coyote. Once again, I just don't know what happened. You know, it was dead calm. You know, sometimes those coyotes just hear every little thing, every little movement when it's like that. I think this coyote got into about 125 yards and he just spooked out. I don't know if it's camera moving or skyline. You just never know sometimes. But anyway, the same thing. This coyote kind of spooks out. You know, you have to make a split-second decision, and I made a decision to kind of hold off and hope that he would stop. And this was one of those coyotes that didn't. By the time we decided he probably wasn't going to stop, he slipped over the hill. So first stand of the day, you know, it's kind of a disappointment that we didn't get the coyote, but our hopes are high that, you know, the coyotes were responding to the call. Just finished up our 4th stand of the morning where we had high hopes after the first stand this morning. We had that coyote come in, but just feels like we're falling back into that same rut that we've been in the last couple days. It's just coyotes are here, obviously. They're just not wanting to come. I don't know. We had these coyotes probably a mile, 2 miles maybe howling, but you know, I knew they were probably too far to come to the call, but just some great area the call was covering. It's just hard to believe that there wasn't a coyote within a, you know, 1,000-yard half circle of us that wanted to come in. So, but that's how it goes. We keep grinding. On to the next one. We just moved down the road. We made a little bit of a run. Just kind of got into a new area. We were able to park right off the road. We walked in. Wind's kind of going from right to left. Colton's kind of covering the downhill side. Just a lot of undulation in the terrain. Lots of rocks mixed with sage. Just basically looking, you know, for places that there could be coyotes laid up in, or where they can't see us walking into the stand. So, starting off with a little lucky pecker. That seems to have been the sound we've basically called every coyote in with this trip. So we're gonna give it a go first. I'll probably let it run for 5 or 6 minutes, then we'll get a little more aggressive with some pup distress or some fighting or something like that. Right there, zoom in. He's right at Colt. Is he still there? He's just right beside Colt. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah. Nice shot.
Giant male. Big old male. We're on him.
So we're about 11 minutes into the stand and this coyote showed up straight downwind. I think lucky for us, the wind's maybe blowing maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour. And that coyote's probably over there 250, 300 yards. I just don't think he had smelled us yet, but I think he was down low enough. He maybe saw us trying to move. Colton was trying to get on him. Obviously came from a place we weren't expecting him to come from. But coyote took off running. Colton was able to make the shot once I got him to stop. Sometimes if you do a quick little challenge howl or something like that, that'll get those coyotes to stop, and that's what happened. Stopped broadside for Colton. He made a heck of a shot on him. Like shoot a range down there. That was a good poke.
Oh, we just made our 5th stand of the morning. Been tough calling the first few stands. We had some really good country. We couldn't get the coyotes to respond and want to play. About 15 minutes into this stand, we had Geoff actually told us, hey, there's a coyote right there on your guys' side. We kind of been fixated over here. Sure enough, looked on the downwind side. Like a big old male standing right there in the brush. Got the camera on him, got him killed about 200 yards. So we're on to it now. We're gonna keep rolling.
Yeah, he was straight downwind. Luckily, the wind's just not blowing hard enough to probably blow the scent that far yet.
Yeah.
Good shot, man.
Thanks.
220,
Yeah.
25 or so.
Had to redeem myself.
Heck yeah. Yeah, on the board.
Looked like a big old male. Big old swole neck, fluffy.
Bigger coyote.
Yeah.
It's always cool when you walk down here to these stands and you kind of look back from the coyote's perspective, you know. I'm guessing he probably maybe had a skyline a little bit. We weren't expecting the coyote to even come from this way, honestly.
Right.
We were set up good and not skyline from over there. And I think when he came hard and he got right down into here, he just had a little bit lower elevation on us, and he just saw us, and with everybody having to move to try to get on him, you know.
Especially being the older, fat coyote he is, yeah, he probably knew something was up.
But curiosity killed this coyote, because he had to stop and look back at the howl and yipping and all that other stuff that was going on. But
a good example to always have eyes on the downwind side too, because that's exactly where he came from.
yeah.
Whether he circled that way or not, I don't know, but
Yeah, I think he started. He just happened to come in from that way, but
yeah. He's dead. That's all that matters, right?
it's about 10:30. We're on just a tight little stand right here. There's a good little draw that runs down through here. A lot of washes, some tall sage, some rock outcroppings. Just gonna be a real quick stand. We're not wanting coyotes to really come from far. If they're in here, they're gonna be within probably 600-700 yards. They should be on us here in about 4 or 5 minutes. So got Colton tucked in right down in a little wash right next to the call with the shotgun. Coming from the right, Colton, right. Coming from the right, hard. Come right here. Come on, right here. Another one coming. I'm gonna shoot the left one. Woo! I'm gonna shoot this bottom one, see him? Right here. You on it? Whoop, 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 whoop. Just couldn't. They came hard, just obviously not where we wanted them to come from. They just got right in here close and just saw us when they got to about 60 yards. The second one was coming hard, but the first one was already peeling out. I couldn't quite get him to stop. I was going to shoot him because the other one was close. I think I could have got that second one killed, but the first one made it over the hill. But we got that second one to stop out there about 150. Got him killed. It's only been just about 3 minutes, so I'm going to play some pup distress and stuff, maybe call it. Maybe the third one looks like some pups. So I'll tell you, we got a coyote. I'm a little disappointed. The stand wasn't the best. We were hoping they would come from all the cover and the thick sage and the cuts below us down the draw. We were set up for that. When you're calling this big open country with a light wind, you never know. And these coyotes came from way out. They actually came across a flat where they could see the truck, somewhat. They just didn't care. And
sun's in their face, bro. It probably helped a little.
Yeah, just when you got a pair of coyotes like that, it's tough sometimes because you want to get greedy, you want to try to get them both. And that first one started peeling out, and I thought we were going to get him to stop as the second one's running over the hill. A lot of times, if you can get that one shot that's running away, if he stops, as the one's running in, he really doesn't know what's happening. That was my plan, but the lead coyote just never stopped after he boogered out of there. Luckily, this one, he had to stop and look back. And Daniel the fence put it where I had the crosshairs, and he bled out in about a 10-foot stretch right here. But on the bright side, 2 stands in a row. Right. So maybe we're hoping. Maybe we're on a roll now. We rattle off about 4 or 5 in a row.
Are you wearing 2 different boots?
No, one's wet. So we're feeling good. The day's going along great. It seems like we're calling in coyotes every 2, 3, 4 stands, which is what you hope for. We get into an area that I've hunted before in the past that has had coyotes in it, and once you hunt areas like this enough, you kind of go back to the same areas that hold coyotes. If there's a coyote in there, last year or 2 years ago, and you were able to call that coyote in, there's a good chance there's going to be coyotes back in there again for whatever reason. And so we had a particular stand laid out. We got in there, we had kind of a dry little pond or lake bed or something in front of us, and our goal was to try to call the coyotes out of the sage on the other side and get them to come across. Colton's kind of tucked up in the sage, hoping to get a shotgun coyote. It wasn't probably 3 minutes into the stand, Colton spots this coyote coming hard from the left. So our midday. Once again, we're just trying to make stands where we have the wind in a favorable direction, where we can kind of leap through here. Obviously, lots of options when you're out on these big tracts of BLM ground. Just set up on kind of, I don't know if this old dry lake bed or whatnot, but just a big sea of sage on the other side. So that's hopefully where we're hoping to pull a coyote from. Wind's going from left to right. Colton's set up on the upwind side. I'm covering the downwind side here. Coming right across it. He's actually circling a little closer. He's going to end up coming right down my barrel. I'm just going to wait for him to go behind a piece of sage, and then I'm going to move on him. He's coming right down my barrel. And he got to the edge of that lake bed and he kind of checked up whether or not he saw a flash off the camera, he saw one of us move a little bit. It's hard saying what happened, but either way, the coyote got to a point where he just didn't want to come any closer, so he started skirting along that side, trying to get downwind, because he had to go a long ways to get downwind. And at that point, you know, I was orientated over here and I was kind of anticipating the route of that coyote. I could have tried to make a move and get on that coyote. There was a chance he probably might have stopped and just looked at me while I shot him. But there was also a chance that he could have spooked up into that sagebrush and we never would have got a shot. So I elected just to stay tight, not move, knowing that if he kept on that same path, he's going to get, you know, eventually right down my barrel. And that's what happened. Let's go time here. Ready? Next time he stops. Woo! 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 Takes a little patience. That coyote kind of saw something. We're not tucked in great. The sun's bouncing right off us. Before I get going, I'm going to get some pup fight going. It's only been about 8 minutes. But yeah, he originally saw something out here. You know, for a coyote to come clear across the open like that, it's tough sometimes, but he just worked that line. No sense in moving. My barrel was pointed right here. I was just waiting for him to get to my barrel. I knew the wind was going clear back across this opening. And right there at that point, he started to cut across there to get our wind. So pretty easy 100-yard shot. You know, I have to say, after hunting coyotes for 20 some years, I don't know if I've ever had my first coyote hunt of the year where I had to wear snow camo. So it's been a unique experience. It's been an awesome experience. I'm already looking forward to coming back out here and hunting with Colton one of these days. But just a great way to kick off the season, and already looking forward to our next hunt.